I'm here at Bellevue Estate and I am on the backyard gardening wagon. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing. I've come up with this. Let me tell you, it's hot as hell right now. It's got to be 100 degrees out there. So there's all kinds of gardening boxes out there that people are making. I met an amazing couple yesterday. They are back to roots gardening. I'm going to give you their link in a little while. I went and picked up some seedlings from them. They built their garden boxes out of pallets, which is amazing. I think this week I might go and get a few so that I can finish up in my yard. I actually used some scrap wood that I had in the yard to build my first box, and I did a little bit of research. There's a couple of different styles of boxes out there if you're building your own garden boxes. A keystone style, which can be done either in a pie shape, around a circular shape, or doing with rectangular beds. And this is a method of using your home scraps to compost right inside the garden bed. Amazing idea. I had already kind of committed myself to doing a self-watering box, or it's also known as a wicking box, and a bit of an undertaking. So I'm going to go through the steps and explain every part of it to you. I've built 3 boxes so far, so let's get started. Sydney's so sweet. She's bringing me my water so that I can hydrate while I'm doing this because it's real hot out here. This is the first completed box. You can see I've already planted in it the PVC pipe that's sticking out for watering and the plastic liner that's there. I planted it out yesterday and realized that the sun is just too hot for these tender seedlings. So I'm going to be building a cover for it, and I will show you the process of that once I complete it. For now, I'm just going to put a temporary cover over it just so that they can make it through the next few days. Okay, so let's move on. This is actually the first box that I built. I used scrap wood that I had in the yard. It's quite heavy. It's about 16 inches deep and it's 4 foot by 4 foot. So the way that you do a wicking bed or a self-watering bed is you start by these boxes don't have a base in them. They're just dirt bottoms. It's the dirt on the ground. I leveled off the ground as much as possible so they're kind of into the ground so that they're level. And then you lay this matting down. This is a garden mat. Now I got to tell you, I ordered this stuff for another project in my yard years ago. So I had a little piece of it left and I was able to do this box with it. So this box has a full mat underneath it. And then this box here now, what was left is what I've put in the bottom. So the purpose of this bottom mat is to protect the plastic that I'm about to put in from any stones that might come through and penetrate the plastic. I haven't been able to find pond liner. I put a call out for it, and the one person suggested that I try foundation plastic. So I went to Veg, I got some foundation plastic. It's really cheap. I'll list it in the bottom description so that you can get the prices of everything that I used here. And hopefully it's durable, but basically the matting is going to prevent any stones, because once you put the plastic down and you put the stones and you put the soil and you water, it's going to be a lot of weight. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the ground. So anything that's underneath could potentially push through and puncture the plastic. And I'll go a little more into detail, but essentially what we're doing is we're going to be watering from underneath up. And if the underneath has holes in it, obviously the water is going to drain out. So that's the idea. Why is the mango in there? Well, it's holding down the mat. So the next step, and because there's so many layers here, I actually laid this and then I immediately came and dumped a bucket of stone in it and then remembered, no, the next layer is actually plastic. So I had to sit here and scoop it all out, put it back in the bucket that you see there, and I'm now going to line this with plastic. So next shot is going to be the next step, which is to put a layer of plastic that lines the entire garden box. Next, we drill holes into a 2-inch PVC pipe that we're going to lay in the bed for watering. The holes are about 2 inches apart, and there are 2 rows. Okay, so we just sealed this off with a little bit of PVC glue. So what we've got here is a 2-inch PVC pipe with a 90-degree elbow and then another length. Easy weld, $11.50 at Veg. And this is what you use to adhere the PVC pipe. It's perforated. I'm going to check it with my level. And actually that's perfect. That's actually perfectly level. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to put a little bit more stones around it. If you didn't notice, while I was filming, I was using the back of the rake to level off the stones, and I forgot myself, turned it over, and punctured the plastic. So don't do that. I actually fixed it, did a little repair, and I'm going to get back to it. So I'm going to put some more stones in here now. That's that part finished. So I'm just gonna turn back this plastic. Okay. Kept it there so that it wasn't blowing around and stuff while I was trying to put the stones in. So the concept of this box is that we're gonna take the hose and fill the water in the box from here. The water's then gonna go through and fill the box. The plant's roots will drink from the bottom up. So as long as there's water in here, it will flow out. Now, the other thing that I have to do, and I'm going to do that just now, is I'm going to drill a hole here, which is going to be the overflow. So if it's raining or there's too much water in here, it's not going to saturate the plants. They're not going to be overwatered and mushy. It should keep a nice balance. And the other thing is the moisture, even if the water isn't going up, the moisture from the box is actually going to go up into the roots. So in theory, this should actually be a really fantastic method of gardening. I'm about to put down the next layer of fabric. This is the landscape. It's called weedblock. I bought this at Veg. I think it was about $30. I don't know. I'll post it in the link in the bottom. But it's going to act as a barrier between the stones and the soil. This is going to allow the moisture and the water to go up, but it's going to stop the soil from going into the stones and anything coming up from underneath. Well, nothing can come up because it's all blocked underneath. So this is going to be the next layer. plantings I did yesterday. Everybody kind of survived. I've got a couple of casualties. This little guy didn't seem to make it. Hopefully tomorrow he gets up. This one's trying to get up. But everything else seems to have adjusted okay. I did get some carrots. I don't think the carrots are going to make it. They are really looking quite dead. These guys look like they're trying to take, I don't know. The beets, they are a little charred here. These ones definitely, I mean, maybe a miracle will happen. It looks like something's trying to get up there. This one's okay. The corn, man. Whew. Corn is going good. So let's see. I don't know. Do I have too many things in this bed here? We've got melon, carrots, beets, corn. Then we have kale, lettuce, tomatoes. I don't know. Anyway, the bed that we worked on is done. It's finished. This is it. I had to order topsoil, and we've got this in it mixed with this. This is the organic Pro Mix, and then we have Pro Mix. This is a general purpose Pro Mix, but it's all mixed in. Look at it, it's so pretty. And I did not put the overflow hole in. That's not a problem. I can do that afterwards, but let me show it to you on this one here so you can see what it's all about. This is it here. So any excess water will just drain out from here, and that will keep the beds from getting too saturated when we have heavier rainfall. I constructed the boxes out of recycled materials, and some bought. This one was bought, this one was recycled. I am going to buy caps for these just because I don't want any creatures crawling inside there. This is one on legs that I did. I actually prefer this, but this is just for herbs. And in here I've got some thyme, rosemary, and a little shadow benny. I'm looking for some basil, so if you've got basil that you're willing to part with, let me know. I've got a nice big space for it here. Well, these were made out of recycled wood, very easy to do. Once I kind of got my rhythm, I had a pretty good understanding as to how to build them, and I was able to knock these out really very quickly. So I'm very excited, and I like how the garden is shaping up. I am going to build a second one of these. I'm gardening according to the Farmer's Almanac. They can be purchased at CMC down by the market in St. John's. And so this planting cycle is this weekend, so hopefully I'll have the other boxes ready for the next planting cycle. Awesome. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Sayonara. Bye-bye.